further ado, I'm going to introduce our first speaker today. More volume, they're saying. Okay, just about as loud as we can be. All right, our first speaker today is Nick Modern. Nick, all right. Nick has worked as a reporter, researcher, and writer and political organizer over the last 30 years. While in the U.S. Navy, he was in Vietnam in 1962 and 1963. He's the director of the 2012 National No Drones Tour. His articles have appeared in Truth Out since 2008. Thanks so much, Nick.
Okay. Thank you very much. I just want to start, and I think I speak for everybody here when I express my gratitude to the people here in Syracuse who have put in so much time and attention to detail and care, and letting us be here and let us have the food, the drink, the hospitality. So I want to, let's give them a real big applause. Thank you so much. I'm going to be very brief. My experience with the military goes back to when I joined the Navy after I got out of college. I volunteered to go to Vietnam. I had a lot of very unhealthy ideas at that time. I also believed what our government told us. And my remarks today are addressed to the people that you will be talking to as you go over there, and what you mean in terms of this struggle that's going on right now. The base commander has an order of protection, which is a very peculiar thing, because how can we harm him or the military? I believe that the order of protection is to protect him and the people on this base from their own consciences. What we represent here is a voice of conscience. And so right now we could think these people are our adversaries. Actually, they're people like us who maybe didn't get the benefit of the kind of education we've had and the people we've known. There is something called the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. It's a great document. It comes out of the Second World War. What's going on here at Hancock and around the country violates at least 8 out of the 30 articles in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, a document that was signed by the United States. Eleanor Roosevelt was the chairperson of the committee that drafted the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. So when we go forward, and as you carry the voice of conscience, we can express some prayers that the people within this base will hear that and will open up to the possibility that they've been lied to, that they've been misled, that they're in a culture that is destructive to them and their families. We have to understand that these people, when they went into the military, did not understand that they would be executioners, that every day they would go forward not with a mission of flying a plane. They would go forward with a mission of executing people. We understand that they follow people with these drones day in and day out. They know the habits of these individuals that they're killing. They know, and the way no one else knows, that these people are being pulverized by these Hellfire missiles. They've got every reason to be very protective of their consciences. And I just want to read a quote from Archbishop Oscar Romero. I think it was he was mentioned last night. And in his last homily, he said, "It is high time that you recovered your consciences and obeyed your consciences. It is high time that you recovered your consciences and obeyed your consciences." And so I want to just say I'm very proud to be a part of people who wish to awaken and help these people here recover their consciences. And we must urge them, disobey illegal, immoral orders from your superiors. Disobey illegal, immoral orders from your superiors. You have the right to do this, you have the obligation to do this, and that's where we're headed. Where people who are doing the killing say, no, no, no more killing, no more killing. Thank you.
Excuse me, I'm Joe Lombardo. I'm with Bethlehem Neighbors for Peace, an anti-war group in the Capital District area, Albany. I'm also with the Upstate Anti-Drone Network, and I'm the co-coordinator of UNAC, the United National Anti-War Coalition. And thank you all for being here today. They thought they could stop the protests at this base by arresting people, by telling them they can't come back. And our presence here says we're coming back every day. We're coming back in bigger numbers, and we're going to stop these drones. We're asking all the speakers to speak very briefly, 2 or 3 minutes. This has been something that people said they wanted. And there are people who are very important for the peace movement that will be speaking here and speaking at the gate. The base is right there all around you. But we will be marching along the side of the base to another rally. We'll do some people here and some people there. So I'm going to introduce the next speaker. And this is Deborah Sweet, who is the director of The World Can't Wait. She says in her introduction, short and sweet introduction, pun intended, stop thinking like Americans and start thinking about humanity. This is a leader of the National Anti-War Movement, Deborah Sweet. And this handsome man over here is named Kawami. He's going to help people up and down this ladder because it is a little tricky. So if he approaches you, that's what he's doing. He's here to help.
Thank you.
I just want us to take a moment to understand how important us being here today is. The audience is not only ourselves. The audience is not only the police forces there and the base. The audience really is the rest of humanity. On March 19th or 20th, I was being interviewed by Saudi TV about the 10th anniversary of the war in Iraq. And I began to talk about the destruction of a whole country in our name by our government and what had been done to the people of Iraq. Over 20 years, Democrat and Republican president alike. And the man interviewing me stopped. He was crying. He said, "I'm Iraqi. Nobody in Iraq ever hears this. They don't know. They think that Americans all support the destruction of our people. They never hear this." And I told him that when I was a young activist in the 60s, fighting against Vietnam, we had a huge advantage because we had such a big and powerful movement, and we so decisively broke with our government that the people in Vietnam understood the U.S. government was one thing, but the people were another, and that we supported them. And they must see these images across the globe to know that we are not people in support of this utterly illegitimate, unjust, immoral U.S. global war on terror. Rather, to us, American lives are not more important than other lives. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Deborah. Sarah, do you want to come up? Our next speaker is Sarah Ahmed. She is from Iraq. Sarah, you can come up right here. And she told me some other organization she's part of, and you know what? I can't read my handwriting. So I'm going to introduce you to Sarah.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. My name is Sarah, and I'm from Iraq, so it's different. For me, being here is so much different. I cannot say different than all of you, but it's kind of like different kind of feeling because I'm from Iraq. Just seeing this part, all of you, all the people, being here just to say we are anti-war, we are against it, it's just kind of, it's very emotional to me because partly Deborah said what I was about to say, which is Iraqi does not know that. They don't know that. I will not generalize. I will not say all of them, but I know that most of Iraqi don't know, and the reality of that, the government is separate than the people, and the people are different, and some of the people are against it and say no to war, and we don't approve of it because Iraqis see American as America, which is wrong, because I see that, and I as a reporter that interviewed Deborah, it's very emotional because we don't know that there's a lot of people against the war and a lot of people saying we are with Iraqi people, and I just hope that Iraqi who can see and can listen to all of you. It's kind of hard because of the media and what they want us to know and what they want to show us, and it's all over. It's everywhere. It's the same as the media here in the United States. They don't show you what Iraqis think and what we really are now after the war. I just believe that the only answer for everything is peace, and this is yay. I believe that there is no war that will solve anything. It's only gonna mess everybody. It will mess us inside without knowing. Just being in a war zone and just seeing people being killed and seeing the sadness in the faces, in Iraqi faces. When you walk in the streets, you know that we are a wounded country. You see it in the faces of people, of ordinary people, like people that living now there and trying to live and trying to cope with everything, which is just sad. And I hope that everybody understands there and here. The government, which is I don't think they will ever understand governments what we want to say, what we have to say, because they just live in another universe, I guess. We are anti-war. We don't want to do anything. We don't need that much police officers waiting for us to do something stupid, because we will not do it. We're just peaceful human beings trying to convey a message and trying to make people hear us and understand what we want, which is peace.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you for your words. Thanks for being here. I have another short announcement, quick announcement. Carol Baum, can you raise your hand? Can you become visible and raise your hand? Carol Baum has a lost and found. So if you've lost something, you found something, go to Carol. Thanks. Okay, our next speaker, Bruce Gagnon. Among many other things, Bruce is the coordinator of the Global Network Against Weapons and Nuclear Power in Space. Between 1983 and 1998, Bruce was the state coordinator of the Florida Coalition for Peace and Justice, and he's worked on space issues for 30 years. He initiated the campaign to bring our war money home in Maine in 2009, and it spread to other New England states and beyond. So, welcome, Bruce. Or you stand back and listen.
Hello. It's a great honor to be here with all of you. I've been following these protests from afar for some time, and I'm just thrilled to be here with you. Today, when we reach the gate, a group of us from Veterans for Peace, what we call the Veterans Peace Team, is going to stand and read the names of children from Pakistan who have been killed by these drone strikes. This is the real terrorism. You know, when we hear about Boston and we hear about how wrong it was to kill innocent people, isn't it equally wrong? Isn't it equally dark and evil for us to do the same thing in Pakistan and Afghanistan and now on the African continent. And shouldn't we resist all forms of terrorism? Because isn't our killing as much of terrorism as anybody else's? So for me, this is very special to be here to make that statement. I stand against everybody's terrorism, especially our own. We have significant problems in this country. Growing poverty, growing unemployment, now climate change we face, and the future generations are going to face it even worse. These are the problems that we should be dealing with today. These are the places our tax dollars should be spent, not on more war. Bring our war dollars home. Thank you.